New strains of coronavirus are spreading, but researchers say the COVID-19 vaccine will help to fight against these new variants. The CDC says more than 84 million people have had at least one dose of the vaccine, and more than 2 million of those are here in Florida. But could our body's natural defenses be lowered by relying on the vaccine? It's something called immune escape. And joining us right now to talk more about it is Dr. Jason Littleton of Littleton Concierge Medicine. Always great to see you, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Amy?
I'm good, thanks. Okay, so let's talk first about what this is. What is immune escape and why is it concerning?
So immune escape or viral escape is basically the virus evading our own immune responses because of a structural change. A structural change because of a genetic change. And so what we're seeing is the virus getting smarter, so to speak, and evading our own immune system, and we hope not the vaccine.
So I was actually listening this morning to a report saying that there are like almost 100 variants now of this same coronavirus, the one that we started with last year. Now there's all these different variants. So that's the virus getting smarter. Is the virus going to eventually get smarter than the vaccine?
Well, we hope not, but it potentially can. You know, I read a report that said there are over 4,000 variants. And,
wow.
You know, there's probably even more than that. And here's the thing, mutations can lend to a successful change for a virus, but all mutations don't necessarily do that. And so what we're seeing is that the virus getting smarter, we may have to apply booster shots to keep up with it. But we have to also understand that our own immunity does play a role in protecting our bodies as well, not just vaccines.
Well, and you bring up a good point, right? Because if you're constantly getting vaccinated against everything, you're not really building up immunity against anything, right? But it's a fine line.
Well, this is a concern. I mean, a lot of people have been isolated. People have been away and done homeschooling. And so when people come back together, as far as the nation in terms of school in general, you're going to now have people interacting that haven't interacted for almost a year. So new exposure to pathogens, it could have ramifications. We could see a rebound effect in the flu. We could see some things that were mild, like colds and flus, become more moderate. I don't think we'll see anything super serious, but this is something to keep in mind and to watch out for.
Well, no, and it's almost to the point now that there's a fear of just getting sick at all, right? If I catch a cold, if I catch strep, if I catch anything else, there's it's like a heightened fear.
Yeah, there is, and that's what I'm also seeing. And the concern here is that we want to protect ourselves so much that we want to keep ourselves in a bubble, and I don't think that's a good thing. Our bodies are designed to fight infection. In fact, we're exposed to pathogens all the time, and our body does do proper surveillance and do what it does. But one of the things I do believe is that we want to, protect high-risk individuals, so the vaccine is important there, but we can't get so concerned that we're afraid to go outside to live amongst people.
Right, and we sort of joke about, the whole mentality of growing up on a farm, right? Kids who grow up on a farm, they're exposed to everything, and oftentimes those are the kids who don't have allergies, who don't suffer from a lot of things just because of that constant exposure. And I guess it's probably true, right, for preschool teachers. They're constantly around germs.
Exactly. We have to always continually educate our own immune system. And the way we do that is through exposure. And there are subclinical illnesses, meaning that we don't actually appreciate them. We don't actually experience symptoms, but our body recognizes it, fights it, recognizes it, prepares for the next time they come around. And we have to have that exposure, so we can't be afraid to get amongst our friends and our peers, get the vaccine. People need to understand the risks and benefits, but we have to also understand that our natural defenses do play a role in keeping us healthy as well.
Well, Doc, we pray that this is just a blip in time and that years from now we will look back on this and we'll have learned a lot and hopefully we'll be smarter and better for it.
Yes, I agree with you.